Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Saha Viryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma Vishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Samasta Jana Kalyani Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamsa Chanura Mardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Bande Jagadgurum Tvameva Mata Cha Pita Tvameva Tvameva Bandhuscha Sakha Tvameva Tvameva Vidya Dravidam Tvameva Tvameva Sarvam Deva Deva Tvameva Sarvam Gurudeva Deva. Hari Om. We have completed the first chapter of Gita, Astavakra Gita, and in the process Astavakra completed also the teaching to Janaka. So essentially the three questions that were asked: what is moksha, what's knowledge, and how to give up or how to have the vairagya. So obviously the questions imply that moksha and the knowledge are related. So therefore one can gain only knowledge through one can gain moksha only through the knowledge. And also Janaka is very clear that in order to gain that knowledge you need vairagya. So what kind of vairagya? As you went through the Astavakra Gita, I had to give up in order to gain. So what should I give up? The essential thing that I had to give up is my wrong notions about myself and the world. That is the major problem. Because of why I have wrong notions? Because I do not have the right notions. Or not right, it should not be right notion. Notion itself is wrong. I do not have the right knowledge. And therefore the problem is the ignorance. And therefore in order to gain that ignorance, Astavakra said, you have to give up all this. Vishayatvaja, you have to give up all your likes and dislikes for all objects, Vishayam. Vishavat, as though it is poison. And in order to give up, how do I give up? You need to develop a frame of mind, and that is called essentially the quality of the mind is required in order for me to give up. Because I am giving up something where I am depending for my happiness on them. That's why I don't want to give up. So even in spite of knowing that happiness is not there in the objects, we still are going after the objects. So that shows how strong the inner deep-rooted vasanas are, that it is there, happiness is there. Without that I am not going to be happy. Even logically we understand, we nod our heads and everything we know, it's not in the objects and all that, but still we are going after, which means that it's not easy to give up things. So that's why Kshama, Ardavam, all those values are essentially Daivi Sampatti that Krishna talks about, are required to establish a frame of mind so that the mind can easily give up and grasp the knowledge. Because unless I give up my wrong notions, I cannot get the right notions. And for that the mind has to be ready to receive the right notions also. So in the whole teaching, if that he says, this in fact is, you are the totality, you are the Kutastha Chaitanyam, you are essentially from which the whole universe is based on. Kutastham is the foundation which does not get disturbed by anything that happens on top of it. That's called anvil, changeless entity, and all changes are occurring on top of only on the changeless entity. And therefore the example that is the scripture uses is the kotastham. And Shankara defines kotastham is the big heavy hoe of anything, but which cannot be perturbed easily. If it is a single one, even like a grass, dry grass, the wind can blow away, but they put it in a heap form and tie it so that it cannot go away. So therefore, that is also a kota, kotastham. And kotastha bodham is what is required, means about the nature of the knowledge about the kotastham, or the consciousness that I am the kotastha swarupam is what is required. So that's why essentially you said you are like the infinite space. So ekam sarvagatam vyomaha, just as the space is sarvagatam, all pervading, so there is no limit for space, and space itself is very subtle, that is called akasha. And what is akasha? There is a different utpatti for that. You see here, that which provides avakasha is akasha, that which accommodates everything without itself getting disturbed. So anything is there in the space, but its space itself cannot be disturbed or cannot be changed, cannot be nainam chindam shastrani, nainam bahati pavakaha, all those things can be applied to space also. And in the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad that we are going to do in the Munikanda, the truth is also called Akasha. And why it is Akasha? You have to attend the camp. Why? Because it's also, there is another epistemological meaning for the Akasha also has to be used, because Yajnavalkya uses the word Akasha. But anyway, that's a separate issue. But here, anytime opportunity comes, I had to sell the product. So, ekam sarvagatam vyoma, bahi antar yatha ghate. So in the ghatam is the pot. Where is the space? Space is inside the pot, that is called ghatakasha. And also space is outside the pot, that is mahakasha. And is there a difference between mahakasha and ghatakasha? That's what we are doing in the Panchadasi class, where the ghatakasha is same as mahakasha. That's what is called Tattvamasi statement. You are that. So the ghatakasha thinks I am separate from the rest of the akasha. It says you are the same as that, and akasha itself as akasha, you are indivisible. So what about the upadi? Upadi is the ghatam, the walls of the ghatam. So even that is also in akasha only. It accommodates also. So even the walls of the ghatam is also in space only. So space pervades even the walls of the ghatam. It is inside and outside. Antar bahischa tat sarvam vyapya narayana sthita. Narayana is all pervading. The Vishnu is vyapakatvat, is the one who pervades everything, is that akasha, and that is ghate. So it is inside and outside. Nityam nirantaram brahma sarvabhuta gani tadha. So nityam, nirantaram and brahma, that you are, is that which is nityam, is eternal and immutable, and that Brahman, that infiniteness, and sarvabhuta gani tadha, says in all beings and all things. Bhuta includes both the living and non-living also, Panchabhutas, and the products of Panchabhutas, all are essentially you. So that was the teaching. So with that, Astavakra might have kept quiet. So Janaka starts talking. I don't know if it's the same session or next Sunday, we don't know. But we have again. Now Janaka talks. Now here is a student, a mature student, and therefore in this text, unlike in the Panchadasi where the Vidyaranya is taking different philosophical traditions and opinions and all that and say that is not right, this is not right. So there is a tarkam is going on. In other words, there is a critical analysis. Why? Because I need to be, that's called Mananam text, where I need to be confirmed that this is indeed true. There is no other philosophy can explain this. So that's why we are exhaustively being analyzing different different philosophical positions also and say why it cannot be. That's are called Purvapakshas. And all Bhashyas in our, there will always be Purvapaksha and Siddhanta. Why? It is we need a clear understanding, doubt-free understanding, and therefore most of them are Mananam texts. But this is not a Mananam text. This is a Nididhyasanam text. A text where I already understood that I want to keep that so that I am having a firm abidance in the knowledge itself. So that's why it is for all the mature students like you only. Okay. Now we have a student explaining now his experience or his knowledge. Now how does he explain it? You know, I gave you example of electric yoga, the Swami Gurudev used to say. So how it is electric yoga? How do you explain? You touch it, then only you will know all the aha ugu mantra. So here is another aha mantra comes into here picture. Janaka uvacha aho niranjana shantaha bodhoham prakrute paraha bodhoham prakrute paraha etavantamaham kalam moho naiva vadambitaha. Okay, aho means Allah, wonder. It is an expression of wonder. There is no meaning for it. Wow. So same. So Janaka starts because it's a wonder of all wonders. Because why it is a wonder? Wonder is you cannot explain intellectually. Wonder is that which cannot explain intellectually. At the same time, you are seeing it, and therefore it is a wonder. Why it is wonder? Because I've been thinking myself, I am this body, mind and intellect operating. No one told me that I am a body. But this is taken for granted and everybody assumes that they are body, mind, intellect. Our whole life is being spent, not only one life, many lives. And there is no teaching of who are you. There is no quotes given as who are you teaching. Who am I? Quotes is not there. Right? I don't know if you know, I Am, that book. That is by Nisargadatta Maharaj. It's like a meditation, more or less. He doesn't know English, he doesn't know, he just went to a teacher. He's a pan bidi wala. He went to his teacher and he says, you are that, not this. Give up everything. And faith in the teaching itself is sufficient for him. It took 3 years and then he realized. So how do you know he realized? The way he talks about in that I Am, that he only was asking questions and he was explaining in Marathi only. People translate it into English, but each one is a meditative. So if you take that and then try to explain it, then you only confuse the other people also. Because some people quote only parts of it and then try to say, oh, that's it. Then we have a problem. That's why Swami Chinmayananda didn't worried about why he translated, he wrote a commentary on this also. Because people don't come and people think that this is it. Okay, why it is, he will tell you. Aho! Niranjanaha, Niranjanaha, there is no Anjanam. Anjanam is impurities or taint that I have. So therefore, it is completely without any taint. What is a taint? Taint is malam, which is called, malam is something other than what you have. So I have my body is having a dirt, means which I can wash it off. I have to clean it out. That means it is something other than my body sitting on my body. Therefore, I need to wash it. That's called malam. So, niranjanam, it cannot have, there is something, cannot be anything other than top of it. For it you clean, because it is infinite. So, therefore, niranjanaha. So, that's why that, what was the Guru Stotram? Kanda Mandala, the second sloka. Who removes the anjan. Anyway, Shantaha. Shantaha is peaceful. Shantam Shivam Advaitam Chadurtam Manyante. So this is called peace. Peace is what? No perturbation of any kind. in spite of any perturbations that one observes. That is Shanta. That means there is always ups and downs as one sees, but yet it is deep as an ocean inside. There are no waves inside the ocean. As you go deeper and deeper, it is calm and quiet, and that's why it is Shantaha. So he is describing this, whatever that state he is in. Niranjanaha Shantaha. So Bodhaha Aham. I am of the nature of consciousness itself. So how do you describe consciousness? Consciousness, other than the word consciousness, it cannot be described. So there is a lot of scientists trying to find out also what is consciousness, how does it arise. So they are going into neurons and all that. But consciousness cannot be analyzed, because for me to analyze a consciousness, it has to become object. So once it becomes an object, it's no more consciousness. So therefore, I cannot analyze consciousness as let me investigate. No. That's why I am consciousness only. I have to discover itself. And so how do I know I am consciousness? So I will ask you, are you all conscious? I hope so. How do you know that? How do you know? I don't need any means of knowledge to know that I am conscious entity. No pramana is required. Because it is, consciousness is called light of consciousness. Jyotir Jyotihi. So therefore it lights everything else, but it doesn't need to be lighted. Means it need not be illumined, and therefore I am Bodha, I am of the nature of consciousness itself, even though he is making a statement, and he is making a statement using a mind, but recognition is in the mind that I am beyond this, and that's what is expressing words that can, using a word which cannot be expressed. It has to be pointing only. They're called the lakshyartha. It's called not vachyartha. It has indicatory meaning to point out in the direction. So bodhoham prakruteh paraha. I am beyond the prakriti. So prakriti is what? This also we're discussing in the Pajadasi class. So prakriti is that which is, we call it, is what you see, is because of which the whole universe. Mayantu prakritim vidyat mainantu maheshwaram. In the Svetashvara Upanishad says this prakriti is nothing but maya. What is maya? Ya ma sa maya. That which is not there but appears to be there is maya. So how do I describe maya? So how do I understand maya? You can't understand maya because it is daivim esha gunamayi mama maya. It is of the nature of divine origin. I can understand everything because of maya only, because what I understand is only about prakriti. So prakriti has been described in so many, prakriti purusham chaiva. We are doing that in the other class. So prakriti is prakarshena kruti yogyatva, that which is specially designed for us only. That prakriti, but which became many. How it became many, you cannot even say. That which is avyakta namni paramesha shakti anadya vidya trigunatmika para karyanumeya sudhiyaiva maya jagat sarvam idam prasuyate. You know where it comes? Vivekasudamani, that says, defines what is maya. Maya is the prakriti, and that is trigunatmikam, that which is of three gunas, which is sattva rajas gunam, that is the nature of guna. So anything that has a guna belongs to prakriti only. Guna means qualities, attributes. And prakriti is only through sattva, rajas, tamo gunas only. That which is part of the sattva, highest part of the sattva, pure sattva is the Ishvara, that's how Panchadasi defines. And that which is rajasic and sattva and tamas, all those imbalance once is where all the human beings and beings come into picture, jiva comes into picture. But here it says, Prakrute paraha, I am beyond all these gunas also. And the whole 14th chapter of the Gita talks about what is that which is beyond the three gunas. Etavanta mahankalam. So etavanta mahankalam, this long column is time. I have spent etavanta is unending many lives and lives and lives and lives. You cannot tell how much, because it is beginningless. It is anadi. Avidya is anadi. So when do the jivas come into picture? You cannot say when. So this is one of the criticisms of Advaita Vedanta in terms of avidya. Ramanuja says, who has avidya? I don't know, I want to go into that a lot. Who has avidya? That is one of the famous criticisms of Ramanuja. 7 untenables against the avidya of Advaita Vedanta. One of them is, there is, who has? He says jiva has. So, but jiva is the product of avidya. That means jiva, product of means avidya should be there before jiva came into picture. Now how can you say jiva has avidya, because avidya was there even before? So it says, how can you say? But if you say, then what was there before jiva? It is Brahman. So how can you say Brahman has avidya? Ishvara, from him, for them Brahman is Ishvara. So Ishvara cannot have avidya. So you have, whole problem is confusion about your avidya. But remember, Ramanuja also talks about avidya. But for him, avidya means ignorance. The jiva does not know the sesha-seshi bhavatvam of the jiva. Means the Lord is controller, I am being controlled, I am a tiny entity, remember, I am of the size of Anu, and he is Parameshwara. All that knowledge is not there. I think I am independent guy. That's what his problem. So that is also avidya for him. So how does avidya goes? Recognizing the Lord is that greater one, and he is the one who is the source, Narayana, and you therefore you are only part of him. All that is part comes into their philosophical approach to moksha. Here, etavanta mahankalam, he says this kalam that is from the beginningless, it is there for eons that I have been. Moho naiva vadambitaha. This moham is the delusion. I was deluded from what? From the beginningless. All that is because, what is the cause for the creation? Karma. That's what the Krishna says in the 8th chapter. It's a karma sambhava. It is because of karma. Karma means action. Action of what? Action of jivas. That means jiva was there before to act. So how did he come into it? Because of previous karma. So how did previous karma? Because of previous life. So how did previous life come? Previous life because previous to previous life. So when is the first life? No first life, because it is anadi, beginningless. There is no, that's why edavanta mahankalam moho naiva vadambitaha. So I was bewildered by this moham, because this is so attractive. Even if people teach that this is not real, you won't accept it. Okay? So this is not real. So there's a fellow who says, this is not real. It's a stone, he is holding a stone. You say, this is not real. Yeah, it's not real. I will hit with this stone and you will know that it is not real. So a lot of Dvaitins argue with me. Says, if it's not real, then take Visham. Why should I take Visham? I don't know why. So even this is a story in the what is that? Rama Vasishtha, Yoga Vasishtha. In the Yoga Vasishtha, Vasishtha was teaching everything is not real. So Rama didn't believe it. I say, how can it be not real? So as Vasishtha was coming, he sent an elephant to chase him. So Vasishtha ran. Ran for his life. So when Vasishtha comes back, he says, you said this is not real? Elephant is not real. Why did you run when it is not real? Say, Rama, even my running is also not real. So you have to understand the reality includes ontologically. It's called ontologically is the degree of reality in science. Ontologically, they are of the same order of magnitude. So mind and the world that sees, both are in the same order of magnitude, of the order of reality. What we are talking about is that beyond even the mind and the intellect. That's why Prakrutehe Param, that is beyond even Prakriti. So everything that belongs to the Prakriti, within the Prakriti, they are as real as Prakriti. So within the Maya, everything is Vyavaharika Satyam, transactionally real. Just as in the dream, you are in the dream world and the dreamer doesn't think the dream is a dream. For him, it is real. So transactionally it is real until he is awakened to the higher state of consciousness. And how come somebody can go into the dream and then teach him that this is all dream and you are a waker and all that? Can somebody teach? Only problem is, yes, one can teach, but he won't believe it because he does not have capacity to discriminate what is real and what is unreal in the dream. That's Viveka. Why he doesn't have? If he has it, he won't dream. That's a problem. The problem of a dream is you have to have the intellect in a low web where the mind projects the whole thing as though it is real. So what about in the waking world? Waking world also, many people don't have that Viveka. Viveka is the discriminative intellect to know what is real and what is not real. So how do we get it? By Vedanta Shravanam. Okay. One can gain the necessary discrimination to differentiate while still in the waking state, to know that the waking state is like a dream. Okay, the discrimination can, but in spite of knowledge that it is not real, still the world will go on just so, as long as the body, mind, intellect goes on. So because the body, mind, intellect belongs to same reality as the rest of the world. Well, all that is implied. That's why when somebody asks, say if I realize it, then I should not be there. So I can be still there and I will have all other things also. So he says, Edavantam ahankalam moho anaiva vadambita. So I was bewildered by this. So when I recognize this only, this is a statement. Okay. Now this is Janaka's experience. Why should we read about his experience? The whole chapter is going to be like this, right? For us to recognize it, at least we should be like Janaka. So in the realization, different Mahatmas do different things. Some Mahatmas sing. So Swami Tejaman says, in case you realize, keep having this song by hearted so that you can also sing. Ahamannam, 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 ahamannado, ahamannado. Remember? That is the song of the realized master. And also what is the Aham Rukshasya Reriva, Kirtim Krishtim Reriva. This is also a realized master singing. So you can all have your own song also. Keep it ready in case if you realize. And here is an expression, outpouring expression of Janaka. Oh, what a wonder! Because that has to be, when I recognize or when you recognize that the whole universe is nothing but all, yesterday is gone, then today is come. It's a really wonder. And we think today is very important, but yesterday also we thought that was important, but it's gone. What we did, we don't know. We can't even recollect back what it did. And all that at that time, worries and all that, it had no meaning at all. Looking back. Looking back 5 years from now, what all things we thought at that time worried with, has no consequences. But yet, life is beautiful, wonder. Everything is manifesting in the present only. Past is gone. Future never comes. And the present alone. And we don't live in the present. Right? Either we worry about what is happening in the past or what is going to be in the future. And present alone is given there. That's why karmani eva adhikarasti. You only can act in the present. That's why the statement says everything is precise there. But at the same time, we live through, and these are statements for us to recapitulate, by heart it, remember it, and this is what the meditation is all about. Now no meditation about thinking of Krishna, Narayana and all that, all those are important initially. Ultimately, this is the ultimate. You are Narayana also. Don't have to tell it, but that's what implication. Okay? So that's easy because you are everything. There's nothing else other than that. So mohana iva vadambitaha. That's why is screaming with wonder. You will see what he says more and more. Yatha prakashayam meko, yatha prakashayam meko, dehamenam tatha jagat, dehamenam tatha jagat, ato mama jagat sarvam, mama jagat sarvam, atava na cha kinchana, atava na kinchana. Yatha prakashayam ekaha deham enam tata jagat. So yatha ekaha enam deham prakashayami. It's just as I am illuminating this deham, this body. Prakashayam means I am illuminating this body. So this body is also an object for me to illumine because I am a light. So here we have to understand, this also will be coming more in the Brihadaranyaka. I don't know, I'm telling all the Brihadaranyaka here to tempt you to attend the camp maybe. So it says, you are like a light. So what is a light? Now don't imagine that I am now like a light in the seat of meditation. Light is that which reveals an object, right? Without the light I cannot see an object. So anything that reveals the object is a light. Now ultimately what lights the all objective knowledge is essentially the consciousness has to illumine every thought that rises in my mind. That's how the perception is. When I see an object, it forms a thought in my mind and the thought is still inert. So that has to be illumined. Thought is nothing but part of the mind also, as though a wave in the mind. Mind itself is inert. So that reflected light from the mind now falls on the thought and get reflected back to the mind. That's what is the perception in Advaita Vedanta. So when it illumines the thought, I know the thought, contents of the thought. So therefore, whatever that illumines is the knowledge can take place only by the illumination. And I am that light of consciousness that illumines even this body. This is also part of the kshetram. Remember? That's how the kshetram starts, from the Sariram. And he gives whole list of what is kshetram. And only kshetrajnam chapimam vidhi sarva kshetreshu maharata. Know me as the kshetrajna. That me is here, prakasham. That is the light of consciousness. And how do I know myself? I don't need, because I am self-conscious entity, self-revealing entity. I don't need any other means to know that I am conscious entity, right? And that's why it is prakasham. So ekaha, so that which is one only, there is no two lights or anything, because it is that which illumines deham enam tatha jagat also. Even the whole world I am illuminating. So without me, existence of the world cannot be established. You should know that, right? By now. Remember, I gave you example already. So is there a chair in the other room? Do anybody know? We don't know. So existence of the chair in the other room is only 50%. It may be there, it may not be there. The probability only I can talk about. So can you go and check whether there is a chair? Not that you don't have to do. When you go and check it, the 50% probabilistic idea, thought, knowledge becomes a deterministic. Right? Yes, there is a chair. No, there is no chair. That means existence or non-existence of any object is established by my knowledge. I have to confirm it, and then only it becomes a knowledge. Otherwise, it's only probabilities. This is what Schrödinger's cat problem. If you want to know, go to Google's and ask for Schrödinger's cat problem. It will tell you all that. Okay, I don't want to get into quantum mechanics, but that's exactly what it means. Means it is only the knowledge has to be there to establish the existence of an object. So whole Jagat itself is there only because I say the world is. That's why when I go to deep sleep state, I say I am there, but the world is not there, because I have to illumine the world. So that's why tasya bhasa sarvamidam bhavati, right? we are doing for Lord Shiva there. But where is Shiva? Shantam Shivam Advaitam Chaturtham Manyante Sa Atma. That is the Atma, is that Shivam is auspiciousness. That is pure, ever pure. And that I am. And therefore, Dehamena Tata Jagat, the whole world is I am illuminating. Not only this body. So he puts body also part of the world. I am illuminator of every object. Object is that which doesn't have any self-illumination. Elfia means it cannot say I am there. That's an object. Not that Elfia means all the lights are, even the light is there, I have to tell there is a light. So in the other room is lighted, I have to go and check whether the light is there or not. Without me, it is still probability there. Light may be there, light may not be there. It may be illuminating things there, but no one will know. I have to be there to say that. And I have to be there even to say it's not there. Remember in the morning, yesterday we were talking about, when I go to room and say, is there anybody here? I say, no, there is nobody here. How do you know there is nobody here? Because you are there. Without you present, I cannot say there is nobody is here. So I had to be there to say the non-existence of object also I have to be there. So both includes, everything includes the Jagat. That is what is Jayate Gacchate, that Jagat. So everything is, I am that illumines. So Ato Mama Jagat Sarvam Athava Nacha. Here is a beautiful statement here. Ataha Mama Jagat Sarvam. Therefore I am the world. Sarvam Jagat. I am whole world itself. Are? He just now said I am illumining the world. Now he is going to one more step and say I am the world. There is nothing beyond me. How is that? Because I am the very existence that supports the whole world. So here, not only I am illumining, and also I am the very existence because of which the world is. Without me, the world cannot exist also. And that's why in the deep sleep state, is there a world is there or not? How do you know? Oh, you went to sleep, but the world was there. Everything was happening when you were sleeping. So how can you tell? I won't believe it because I was not there. So how can the world be there? No, we have movies. We have taken the movies. Still, I have to establish the movie is right or not and see it, and then only I can establish. So without me present, the existence of anything cannot be established. So even though logically I can say, okay, galaxies are moving at so and such a part, I can extrapolate or interpolate and say the billions of light years ago there was a big bang. All that is only what? Only a conscious entity has to determine that. Unconscious entity obviously cannot determine. So therefore, it is not only the knowledge, but existence of anything has to be established by knowledge only. And without that, I cannot establish. And also, I am the whole world itself. And for that knowledge, we need a Vedanta. Okay, that's why who am I inquiry itself cannot give the knowledge. That's why in the most of the Ramana Maharshi people, they think that who am I? All you need to do is you don't need the scriptures. You need to inquire who am I, who am I, who am I? Who am I? By process, I am not this, I am not this, I am this. I am becoming smaller and smaller only. But I have to include even that which I rejected, I am not, that also I am only. Because Jagat Sarvam Mama Eva. I am the whole universe also. How do I include it? Because I was there in the beginning and myself became many. For that, scripture alone becomes a pramana. Am Brahmasmi. Brahmasmi means I am infinite. I am not tiny asmi, right? I am not small, very small, that by rejecting everything I am becoming smaller. I am not that. I am Brahmasmi is the knowledge. How do I get it? By scriptural pramana only. Whole world is me only. Ado mama jagat sarva. Before we forget that, he makes another statement. Athava nacha kinchana. Also, I am none of them. Just now he said he is everything. Sarvam jagat mama eva. The whole universe is I am only. But in the next statement, Swamiji says, without washing his mouth, he is saying that I don't, nothing is there. Krishna made the same statement. Maya tatamidam sarvam jagadavyaktamurtina mastani sarvabhutani. All beings are in me. And the next line, najamastani bhutani. No beings are in me. So someone says, oh, Bhagavati is a contradiction. Statement one and another statement is contradicting. This is Vedantic teaching. That's why it's a Vedantic teaching. A contradiction at the experiential level, because from the point of Vyavaharika Satyam, it appears to be that whole thing is there. At the same time, from the transaction, from the absolute point, nothing is really there. Because this is only names and nama rupatmakam jagat. That's why the scientific analysis also should prove us that what I see is not really an object. We never see an object, right? I don't want to get into, but this is what we see is only when something, light falls on it, reflected into my eyes, forming an image, and I am seeing only the image as a thought in my mind, right? So I don't know you are there because I can see. That's why you are there. But what do I see? I don't see you. I see only reflected light that is forming in that. So what I am seeing is only a thought forming, and even that only the projected. Only I don't see your back because no light is coming from your back, right? You may have back pains and all that. That's a separate issue. But I don't see all that. I am seeing only what is light reflection, and even that only I have to illumine with my light of consciousness the thought that rises in my mind. Then only I have a knowledge of the thought. So what is an object? Object is reduced to thought. What is a thought? Thought is now illumined by the light of consciousness. It is reduced back to consciousness. So where is the object? Is the object real or not? I see, therefore it is there. That's one statement. It is there, therefore I see it. Right? Is another statement. Both involves my seeing it, otherwise it cannot be established. Only problem is, you have to be very careful. Senses gather the attributes of the object, right? So when I see form, but I don't create the form and then see it, right? Form is there, chair form is there, I am seeing it and reflected. You can give me all the theories. A reflected light forms an image in my mind, an image in which a thought, and I am illumining the thought. All that is good, is okay. But who created the chair for me to see? Is there really chair or not? How do we know? Go and sit on it. If I sit on it, then I say, yes, there is a chair. What I see is what is there. But if I see a snake there and when I inquire further it's not there, then it is Brahma. Otherwise it is Prama. Only one word is changing. Prama means knowledge, Brahma means wrong knowledge. And this chair is only transactionally real because I am able to sit on it and I am able to transact. Is there a really padartham for the padam? You know, padartham and padam is word. Padartham is essence of the material. Is there a padartham for the padam? To analyze this only, we need a Vedanta Vichara. How does Vedanta will tell you? Just as my child, yada soumya, ekena lohamanina sarvam lohamayam vigyata vacharam manam vikaro namadayam lohamityeva satyam. That is in the Chandogya. Right? My dear, just as the gold becoming into many. So even though names and forms are different, attributes of a chair is different from attributes of the table, attributes of this, there is something that became many, and that's what you are seeing in terms of varieties, and it's only arambanam, only the speech only. But in essence, what is there is that sadeva saumya idamagram asid, existence alone was there, and it appears to be many. So here, this statement here is very profound, at the same time appears to be contradictory, but it's a very meditative statement. When I'm seeing the transactionally, I'm seeing a chair is different from a table, it's totally different. Just as when I'm transacting, ring is different, bangle is different, necklace is different, utility is different, transactability is different, perceptibility is different, all gudas are different. Yet, I know it's all gold only. From the gold point, it never became. So from the gold point, when did you become a ring and a bangle and a necklace? If you ask gold, it says, I never became anything. I am just pure gold. But at the same time, say, hey, I am all those things also. So gold can say, Ataha mama jagat sarvam. Jagat sarvam means the whole gold world is me only. Right? All the ornaments are me, varieties and varieties of ornaments, utility, some are date of birth, some date of existence, all those things can be there. A gold can declare that all ornaments are there. I can see. What I can see? I can see myself, right? But yet, none of them are really, I am just pure gold. AU. There is nothing other than gold. So, from what reference state I had to understand and then apply. So when I'm transacting in the world, I should have clear knowledge as I'm transacting. Yes, he is different, she is different, it is different. There is a discrimination has to be applied. Daughter is daughter, wife is wife, friend is friend. Your bank account is your bank account, my bank account is my bank. There is no confusion there. Just as a scientist, I know electrons, protons, neutrons, everything is electrons, protons. But garbage is garbage, food is food only. I have no confusion. Just because I am scientist doesn't mean that I have to eat garbage. Right? So, transactionally, I should operate at the same time, have this knowledge in mind in the bank, everything, nothing but myself. This way the Vedanta comes into. Because then I don't get carried away with the wrong ideas and wrong Jiva Srushti should not be there. Ishvara Srushti is there, but Jiva Srushti is not there. Is everything okay? Coming?
Yeah.
Okay. So Jiva Srushti is there. What is a Jiva Srushti? On top of Ishvara Srushti, I put something else on it, and that's where the problem is. Remember I gave you an example? This is watch. This is a watch, right? But this is my watch, not your watch. This is a beautiful watch. This is a wedding watch or a wedding ring. Or all those additional attachments that I put value system to it, which is different, that is Jiva Srishti. Watch is a watch and it has a utility. So somebody said, why are you wearing this kind of I have a co-brother who buys $800 watch. Hey, this is how much it costs? $800. Really? Mine is only $25. I could have bought cheaper, but they couldn't give me any cheaper. You paid $800. Does it give you more than 24 hours for paying so much? If he gives then 24 hours, why do I need that? Utility of this, of course, I'm just telling you. This is a fact though. He may be listening to these talks. So, Athava anacha kinchana. From my point, absolute point, there is no world at all. So I can transact with the world knowing that there is no reality to the plurality that I perceive, at the same time transact beautifully. That's why it's called drama of life. Life is called a drama only because it is a drama. And drama means there is no reality to it. Afterwards, it's fun for fun, enjoyment. Everything has to be enjoyed. Remember I told you my cat story. So we used to have a cat. So I used to sit and say, it also was playing for everything. Instead of giving something, it starts playing. So why are you playing? And so meow. So, it means all Maya. So she's teaching me, there is nothing but Maya. That Maya means involves a play itself. The game of life should go on. So there is no confusion in the game. Because when you are in the drama, you have to play the role that is given to you or that you have taken it. So if you have married, that means you took the role of a husband or a wife. Then no, don't complain now. So you have to play that role, whatever the role that you have. A father, mother, friend, employee, all are role playing. No role is not a problem. Role will have a problem. The playing role is not a problem, but fun. As long as you are in the scene, you have to play. But once in a way, go to green room to find out who you are, to make sure that you don't get lost in the roles. So this is the only role I am playing. My nature is yatha prakasha ummiki di menam yatha jagat. So ato mama jagat sarvam athava natakinchana. There is no world in fact, and it's all nothing but my own mental projection itself. So from tomorrow onward, these have to be applied in the day-to-day. To the degree that you can apply, the study of this becomes a fruitful. Otherwise, we have attended one more chapter is over, another chapter will be coming. Okay? Then only the knowledge will be beneficial. Sasarira maho vishvam Sasarira maho vishvam Parityajya mayathuna Parityajya mayathuna Kutaschit keshala deva Kutaschit kaushala deva Paramatma vilokyate Paramatma vilokyate. So, aho Adhuna says now, Adhuna is right now. Sasariram Vishwam Parityajya Kutaschit Kaushalat Evam Maya Paramatma Vilokatche. So Sasariram, with the body, Vishwam, the whole universe, Parityajya, giving up, Kutaschit Kaushalat, through somehow I'm able to give up all these things, he's saying. And here he is acknowledging that Vedantic teacher who helped me to realize. Here, even though I gain the knowledge, even though world is not there, I recognize still my teacher. So, Bhavadvaitam na Karvadvaitam.
Karmadvaitam.
Adu Kuradvaitam, no? Bhavadvaitam eva. The Advaitam has to be in the understanding. Bhava means in the understanding. Not in transacting. Transacting, the world is real at the transaction level. So mother is still mother, teacher is still teacher. And the respect for the teacher is always there. Okay? So therefore, here he is recognizing, says, I don't know how he did this. This is really a miracle. Because, says, somehow he taught me that which cannot be taught. Why? Because no navak gacchati, namanaha. So no speech can really describe that, because it's undescribable, because any description is only for an object. That which cannot be described is only that. In fact, this becomes in the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. Yeah, the Garge asks this question. Now tell me, what is that beyond Ishvara also? Now how can he say that? If he keep quiet, he thinks, now I have defeated you, because this is a challenge there. At the same time, he cannot describe it. So he describes without describing it. And that's why a teacher is that, says he is bringing that knowledge, that which cannot be described, at the same time describing, because pages and pages, we have class every week and this one all the time, the Gita, Bhagavad Gita, Upanishads, all we are going through what? About that which cannot be described, right? It is that's why it is both from the negative definitions as well as some positive definitions. Positively we cannot define. Positively means any definition, any object can only be defined. In fact, any definition only applies to object. That's why an object has to be precisely defined so that one object can be differentiated from the other object. But this is not an object. It's a subject. So this is beyond object, subject also. So how can you describe it? So you have to use a language in such a way that it takes the mind beyond the words. And that's why he says, Kutaschitu Kaushala Deva. In what way he described it, I don't know, but I am able to gain this knowledge. It's a wonder. That's why it's a wonder. Paramatma vilokyate. So I can apprehend the supreme soul. Paramatma is also Ishvara, but now we are going beyond the Ishvara. That which is the highest Atma, that which is pure, absolute consciousness, existent, infiniteness, that vilokyate. Vilokyate means I can see. I can see how? It means I see. I see what? Do you see what I am saying? I hope you can see. That seeing is going beyond very seeing itself. That is beyond. That's why it is ch-2-v1. It is beyond. It's eye of the eye. It's the ear of the ear. You cannot describe it any other way. But at the same time, pointing in the direction to switch and drop the words and recognize because it is you. It's right there. If it's somewhere else, then you have problem. You need a paroksha jnana. It is aparoksha anubhuti, means direct and immediate. They are present, and therefore Paramatma vilokyate. It is that I can perceive, but what grace, because of the grace of the Lord, of my teacher, who could explain to me in so clear terms that I can see. It's like Kareha. What is that? Amalakam in the hastam. It's just like the gooseberry in your hand. I mean, it's as clear as that. Pratyaksham is direct. The perception of pratyaksham is also called direct knowledge. Only anumana is indirect. Anumana means I have to sit down and think from what I see. That's why scientists have to sit and then make a theories of what is the truth based on what he sees. Called this a deductive or inductive reasoning has to go on. But here it's not something later, it is directly immediate. That's why it's called aparoksha. Aparoksha means directly immediate because it is you. So who is the one who is investigating is the one who has to discover that he is the one who is the truth also. And therefore it is kutaschitu, in what way he has done, what a miracle he has done for me, what a skillful teaching for me to recognize that this is. That's why Vedantic teacher is glorified even by Krishna himself. In the 18th chapter, he glorifies the Vedantic teacher. And that's why here the Janaka acknowledges his teachers, that because of which he is able to. I got lost. I had to tell my own experience with the teacher. And we had a last camp in Washington. Swamiji, after the camp is over, Swamiji went to San Diego, but there he passed away after that. So that was the last yajna, last camp also. And there was, along with the I was supposed to be in charge of the camp, but I never did anything, as usual. So, Vilasini handled everything. So only when problems came, they say, you are in charge. So, what was the problem? There was a youth camp simultaneously, and the youth teacher came to me and says, these youth are not behaving properly, they are not dressing properly, they are doing this and that, and they are not because his teacher is complaining and they are not listening to him. How can you? Our youth is, our teenagers as usual. So he's also another bigger teenager only, but no one is listening to him. So he comes and tells, can you tell Swamiji to ask them to behave properly? So what he told Vilasini, he told everybody else, and they said, go and ask Swamiji, he will tell Gurudev. So I was drafted more or less by default to go, and so I took him to Gurudev. Gurudev was sitting there, and he knows when I come there must be some problem, otherwise I won't come there. So, yes. So I told that there's a problem. So Swamiji, can you, when you're teaching, can you tell? So I was giving instructions to Swamiji what to tell in the class. So he looked at me seriously. He didn't say anything. He looked at me very seriously. Says, is that all you have learned all these years? I was wondering, what has that to do with this? And do you really think I sit there and teach there on the seat? So immediately I got up and put prostration. Because that's the teaching I need. I don't need any other teaching. I prostrated. Sashtanga Namaskaram. That anger come into us. You could see the face of the Guru. So compassionate. He says, all right, go. We'll see. So he had, I don't know how many people know, he had the blood was not even going to his legs. And doctor asked him not to talk and not to strain himself. And he was sitting on the platform. Once he sits on the platform, nobody knows that he was sick even. The thundering speeches come out. Only after that he used to collapse, body collapses. So that's, this is what kind of teacher. And in the end, he said, from now on you start teaching. That's the time he told. We wanted to have another Acharya in the Virginia. So I was taking a study group, you start teaching. I was looking at it, what is he saying? Don't worry, it will come. So that's how my instructions from the Gurudev. So I had to remember the final moments, because he was teaching me outside the class also. Because inside the class we were sleeping. With all the work in the camp, it's difficult to keep the eyes awake. But he was compassionate enough for us. But anyway, I don't want to get into a lot of teaching outside the class. I had to, that itself takes something. But anyway, this is, Janaka is acknowledging his teacher, Kutaschitu Kaushaladeva, Kaushalat Eva, because of the Kaushalyam, because of the dexterity in which the teaching was, I am able to grasp that which cannot be taught and which cannot be grasped also. Yatha natoya bhinnaha, yatha natoya bhinnaha, tarangaha pena budbudaha, tarangaha pena budbudaha, atmano nataya bhinnam, atmano nataya bhinnam, vishwamatma vinirgatam, So here he is giving several examples, illustrative examples here. Yatha tarangaha, just as the waves. Pena budbuda, pena foam or budbuda or the waters. Toyaha taha na bhinnaha. It is nothing but water only. Just as the waves and the foam and the budbuda, all the bubbles are nothing but just water alone. So Atmanaha Nataya Bhinnam Vishwam Atma Vinirgataha. So Tatha, in the same way, Atma Vinirgatam, from which the whole universe came, from this Atma the whole universe came, Vishwam, this universe. So we told Vishwam is Vivida Swayati Vishwam, that which moves in different ways is Vishwam, means continuously moving in all directions is Vishwam. And Vishwam Atma Vinirgatam, Atmano Nataya Bhinnam. So it is not different from Atma itself. So here example is taken of what? From the water, all the waves are, from the ocean, the waves are coming. From the water only, all the foam is also coming. From the water only, all the bubbles are coming. So they are all varieties and varieties of names and forms are coming from the same source. Yet in and through every name and a form, it is nothing but water alone. The essence of it remains the same, only attributes and the qualities and names and forms and all that will be varieties also. So in the same way, it says, from Atma the whole universe came. So all universe is sustained and into which it goes. Yatova imani bhutani jayante yena jatani jivanti yat prem sabhisham vishanti tad vigyasasva tad brahmeti. That Brahma is Ahamimiti. I am that Brahman, because that is the knowledge now, from which the whole universe came, by which it sustained, into which it goes back. That is the Brahman. And what is that Brahman? All the universe. Without me, the existence of any object cannot be established. They are all, the whole universe is in my mind as a thoughts. Without my mind, I cannot see the universe. So the universe is nothing but the thoughts in my mind, raising from morning to evening, day in and day out, is the whole universe itself. If it doesn't raise as a thought, then that object is not there. You may say it is there. If it is there, then, so have you seen Gaga Boo? So no thought arises other than my statement, oh, Sadaji uses Gaga Boo. That's all thought you get. Because there is no object Gaga Boo there, because there is nothing that has risen in the past in mind. No thought of that which contains of attributes of the Gaga Boo there. There are all the universe that you know of, because whatever the universe is what you know. What you don't know, there is no universe that doesn't exist from your point. Unless someone tells you. Someone tells you, then you have to have a faith in what his statement, then you know. As per according to him, there is there. Right? That's what all the science knowledge is. It's called only the Shabda Pramana. This is Shastra Pramana, is also Shabda Pramana. He may tell me, and then I can gain knowledge through that process only. When it gains only, then object is there in the existence too. So the whole universe is reduced to thoughts in my mind, and thoughts in my mind is nothing but they are existence of in the form of thought, and consciousness in the form of a subject, joining together for me to be conscious of the existence of the thought. Right? You understand what I said? That's what Advaita Vedanta perception is. Existence of the object is reduced to existence of the thought, and existence of the thought is illumined by the subject I, the conscious entity, for me to be conscious of the existence of the thought, and therefore for me to be conscious of the existence of the world. Okay? Therefore, the whole universe is reduced into thoughts, and thoughts are in my mind, and I can hold the whole mind. When I get up in the morning, I project the mind, and along with the mind, all the thoughts that I know, as needed. And therefore, to the degree that my mind can bring back, time comes where my mind starts not able to bring back my thoughts or stored information. That's why we said he is losing memory, right? That means he is forgetting his world. That's all the universe is becoming only because of the mind problem. When mind is not there, the whole thing. So the whole universe is arising in me, even from the point of mind-wise, but even the mind is also me. Not only this mind, every whole universe is me only. That's what the Vedanta teaching is. And from that, the whole universe arises from me, sustained by me, and goes back into me only. Just as the whole waves are coming from the ocean, sustained by the ocean, and they go back into the ocean. Each ocean may think I am a little ocean, and the big ocean is following me in all those problems of the waves. What is the attitude of the ocean? Hey, this is all my vibhuti, my glory. Why? Because I can project myself in various waves forms, and various foam forms as well as the bubbles also. And that's what is essentially glorifying my. Now, this is not only for Janaka. Remember, every statement we had to think, when I look at the world, you can say, oh my God, it's a beauty of creation here. Everything is manifesting so wonderfully. Even those people I don't know, they may be terrorists, but they are live. Their only problem is only the mind is missed. Wrong teaching, that's all. So if you look at the whole universe itself, it is a wonder of all wonders. And moving, and so this is this beautiful, all the past is same thing. All worries of past people also, same people, they worried about all those people. They also worried about how to raise their children, what is going to happen to their children, and then they all passed away. Their children have worried about their children, and they also passed away. Generations have gone, generations have come, and we think this is our life big problem here. Everything is just continuous movement of this. But if I can stand apart and look at it, the whole drama of just movement is all wonder of all wonders. Why people are worried unnecessarily? This is just drama. That we should think, okay? Not people, now we are about ourselves. So that is a knowledge where I have to apply it, then only this knowledge sinks into it. So a meditation this is a meditation. When do I have to do this? Whenever you can do, you have to do. I don't want to forget the time. So, because I can warn and forgetting my own talk also. So the whole waves are coming, everything is coming from just as from the ocean, but ocean is also less like Ishvara is creating, the whole thing is being created, and the ocean is the source. It's like ocean is also me only as a water. If you look at, I am the essence of even ocean also. H2O, right? From the H2O point what? The whole thing is my glory only. So it says that essentially Yadha natoyo bhinnaha tarangaha pena budbuda. They're all coming from me. Visarga says minit gatam. They are essentially coming and going, continuous flow of things are there. And the same way atmano thaya bhinnam vishwam atma vinigata. The whole universe is rising in my mind, sustained by my mind, and goes back into my mind only. Even everyday layam is occurring. Laya is, when I go to deep sleep state, the whole world itself is dissolved, folded into my own mind. Yet I am there, existent consciousness that I am, because I am conscious of, what am I conscious of in the deep sleep state? I am conscious of the non-existence of every subject-object relationships. That knowledge is also in the folded form is there, that I express when I say, oh, it was so so how did you? I slept very well. Were you happy? Of course I was very happy. I don't have any back problem there, this problem there, tooth problem is not there, knee problem is not there, all problems are gone. Why? Because problems don't belong to me. If they belong to me, they cannot live. So if I can get rid of all the problems every day, in fact, I take pills also to get rid of the problems, because problems don't belong. If that is the case, why unnecessarily take the problems? So you have viveka, intelligence, not to take the problems unnecessarily. Only solve the problem what need to be done for a given, because that's the game that you have to play. When you are playing, what is a big deal? You just watch next time. So watching this fellow hits, tennis, this fellow hits the ball on that side and that fellow hitting back. So why? Our ball wants to go to other side, and what's the big deal? Ball, why don't you put the ball there? No. He has to hit it properly, and the other fellow has to hit it back. He's sending back to you the same ball again. Somebody went to football game and says they are all playing this ball. Everybody is running after one ball. The fellow built the whole stadium, and he's so amazed. Why didn't he give one ball for everybody instead of one ball for everybody going after one ball only? But that is game. The game of the football is everybody going after one ball only. Not everybody having one ball is not a game. So going after whole thing is you watch, enjoy. But as long as you're playing, enjoy. But after the game is over, don't carry the impressions and then worry about all those. So that's why it's called game. Leela is essentially is that. So we have to play our Leela also. Okay. So he is going to give different examples of his own state of understanding here. Tantu matro bhavedeva, tantu matro bhavedeva, pato yadvad vicharitaha, pato yadvad vicharitaha, atmatan matrame vedam, atmatan matrame vedam, Tadvad vishvam vicharitam, tadvad vishvam vicharitam, tantu matraha bhavat eva pataha. Pataha is cloth, is tantu matram. Tantu matram is nothing but fibers, only the threads. So he says, varieties of cloths are there, where people, what is the cloth? He says, if you look closely, it's nothing but fiber only. The thread is only. So if you pull each thread out, so let me see what is a cloth, then what will be there? There won't be any cloth. There will be, you destroy the cloth. The cloth is only a name for packaging of the threads in the crisscross way or some other way, and some have been even put on top of it some paint of different colors so that it looks beautiful. That's all the cloth is. That's called pata. So in Vedanta you see here a lot of pata gata and pata. Gata is gata is a pot and pata is cloth. So tantu matram bhavet eva yadvatu vicharita is nothing but cloth only. So what is a cloth? Is nothing but fibers only. Here he is stopping with the fiber, with the threads. That which binds together appears to be as one. Without the cloth it cannot be. But cloth itself is, the thread itself is not, but thread organized in one way, in such a way that it is holding together as together is the cloth. Right? All that is implied in that. So Atma Tanmatrame Vedam Tadvad Vishwam Vicharitam. This whole Vishwam is nothing but this existent consciousness alone is in the form of thread here. So only difference between this example and Atma as a support is only the problem is one is too subtle, another is both are gross. Okay, one has to be careful. So we cannot give exact example other than dream example. That's why scripture emphasizes dream example so many ways. All the Upanishad itself is there, right? In the Mandukya Upanishad. But all other examples are illustrative examples for take the mind something beyond for me to see what is that which binds all this. Sutre Manigana Iva, just like Sutram, the bind, that which holds everything together as the total one, and that is the one, that's the binding, and that is what Atma Tanmatrame Vedam, that which is Tat Matram Eva. Atma Tanmatrame Eva. There is other meaning also one can extract. Tanmatras are also subtle elements in the creation itself. Although it's not implied here, but it says Atma Tanmatra, through Tanmatrameva. So how the creation occurred is also through first Panchabhutas are the Akasha, Vayu, Agni, Apa, the Prithvi, Oshda, all those good, one was form finer first, and all the subtle elements are formed from by Panchikaranam, by grossification, the gross objects are formed, and all that is what? From starting from Atma. So in the Taittiriya Upanishad also says Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. That's how it starts. But immediately, without even telling any of us, it switches to Atma. Right? I don't know. From Atma only, the Akasha, Vayu, Agni. How did suddenly Brahman to Atma? It means they are both are same. So therefore, Atma Tanmatme Vedam Tadvad Vishwam Vicharitam. So therefore, one has to inquire, it is nothing but Atma only, the whole Vishwam, the whole universe is nothing but yourself. So there is a story of a husband and a wife. So both are become Vedantins, attending the Veda. So husband and wife, they are walking, and suddenly husband saw some diamond on the floor. So he was worried his wife may get carried away seeing the diamond. So he put his leg so that she won't see that diamond. And this she saw. The wife saw husband trying to cover the diamond, And says, what are you doing? Oh, nothing. I know, I thought you were trying to cover. No, I covered the diamond. So why? Because I thought you may get carried away. Then she asks, you need more Vedanta than I do. Because you thought there is a diamond and which is different from the earth and you are trying to cover it. Therefore, you already have distinguished between the regular stone and the diamond stone and you have a problem. I don't have any problem. So you need to get more educated. So when I understand this, I have to understand only the relative values, not from the absolute value. Relative values, this Vidya Vinaya Sampanne Brahmano Gavihastini. So the Sunescha Swabhakaicha Tattvadarshana, Panditas Tattvadarshana. So the one at Pandita is when I'm looking at the Vidya Vinaya Sampanne Brahmana, the one who has studied Vedanta and all that, looking at that Brahmin, and at the same time elephant and all that, they are all same for a wise person. Doesn't mean same, doesn't mean that these are not equal. Still a diamond is a diamond, stone is a stone. Utility of diamond is different from utility of the stone. But in and through, as a scientist, I know they are nothing but electrons, photons, and neutrons. Right? So, from what point one is one, from what point the difference is required, from the utility point, from the practical point, diamond has to be put in some place and stone has to be put some other place. Utility of diamond is different from utility of a stone. We have no confusion in that. Confusion comes when I have put my value system there. This is my diamond and not your diamond. That is a problem, right? Then suffering, attachments, all those things. So this is a wedding diamond. So wedding ring. So one fellow says this, he goes to, he has to sell the rings, and so he goes to the goldsmith. He says, hey, what is this? This is a ring. He gives regular value. No, don't give this. This is a wedding ring. So who cares? For me it is a ring. Its value is what it's worth. That's all, not more than and less. You may have an emotional value which is superimposed on top of that, but that has nothing to do with the value of the ring. All our value system that you put is emotional value. That's what is Jiva Srishti is. Right? That's what Vidyaranya talks in the 4th chapter that we went through, those who came. So therefore, this is what one has to be clear. So in my transaction in the world, I give value to what need to be done. That's called objective living. At the same time, there is no subjective valuation on top of it. And that's where the problems are, okay? And that's what one has to be very careful. Whenever my mind is getting worried, right, it gets a signal, red signal. So this is what, you are a Vedantic now. There is no reason for you to worry about. Absolutely no reason. Why? This is just a drama. Why are you worried about what is happening in the drama? Drama of life can go on. But the moment you say, oh, I am, this is mine and that is mine, and they say, I am not worried about what's happening somewhere in another country or somewhere. Oh, they are happening something and nothing, and we are not worried about it. Only when you say, oh, my husband or somebody else is there also, I don't know what is going to happen. Then I have a problem. Mine is there. This I and mine is a problem. That's called ahankara mamakaratvam, and that becomes a problem. So here, so many examples are being, and also we continue with some more examples here. He is talking about next sloka, the sugar juice, the cane sugar juice becoming a sugar. And I have to explain a little bit more for that in order to understand that a little bit. So otherwise it is another example also. How I become many, how I am pervading the whole universe, just as the sugar juice is pervading in the sugar, not the other way. Why not other way? Because from subtle to grosser. Sugar juice became a sugar crystal. Now every part of the sugar crystal has the sugar juice there, right? And so sugar juice is pervading the whole sugar crystal. In the same way, Atma is pervading. So Atma is pervading in every grossification of the objective world that I see. Just as the grossification of the sugar juice is in the expression of the sugar crystal. Okay? And that's what, anyway, it looks like I explained without going into that. So we'll stop here and we will do Purnamada. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Can you put that Astavakra